get a chance to create those supervisory organizations positions, and have you done the hiring? I can't hear you, Saurabh. Sorry if you're okay. Today, have you created the configurations in the system, like supervisory organizations, location, positions, and then hiring? Have you performed them?
Yeah, I've done everything until yesterday's lesson.
Great. Can you please share me your prefix ID, like the prefixes that you have used?
TKA.
Okay, great. This is the one, right? TKA Properties LLC.
Correct.
Okay. So only this is the top level supervisory organization, or does it have any subordinates?
Yes. It should have subordinates, I believe.
So if you look at the supervisory organizations, there are
Oh, you know what? I just I just realized that was the video that I didn't. The Friday one is the video that I. No, Saturday or the Friday one is the video I wasn't able to watch, so I wasn't able to recreate that. I think that's the positions and the hiring stuff. I wasn't able to create that.
okay. So subordinates creation and assigning superiors. Uh, were you able to create like hierarchy like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
on the supervisory organizations? Have you created them?
On Workday, no. On Excel, yes, I have.
Okay. Can you please try them creating in the system by tomorrow at least?
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna catch up today. I'm gonna reach out to you if the videos don't work. It's just because I had to work last night. I wasn't able to do it, but I'll
Okay.
be able to catch up with everything today.
Sure, sure, no problem. See, please practice on day-to-day basis if to the extent possible, because you noticed, right? See, we started with one location creation, then one SUPOC, then we have created multiple SUPOCs, and then positions, and then hire. See, if we have to do everything in one way, it will become little overhead activity for us, right? Later. So please focus on.
Yeah.
I recommend it's up
Uh,
again up to your. I know you are all working people, right? So I do understand there are some challenges, but please try to practice on the same day to the extent possible. Okay. Addis, did you get a chance to create supervisory organizations in the system?
I'm also on the same boat, honestly.
Okay.
I've got some catching up to do.
Yeah, yeah. No problem. But yeah, since we are in the very initial stages, I do understand. But please do practice again. Tenant access will get this access only for 2 months. So later we don't get tenant. So please try to practice on the same day. It will be easy for us, and you'll get more doubts when we start working again. Workday is such a system, right? When I have experienced the same,
right.
like it looks so simple when someone is explaining it was, even I faced the same problem when I was in the initial stages. But when we start
Mhm.
practicing, that is where we'll start facing the problem, and we'll get to know so many questions and doubts. So please do practice, and it'll help both the parties. You do more practice, and you put up, if you have any questions, try to put me in trouble, so that we'll learn both of from both the sides, right? Like you will also learn, and I'll also try to explain, and I'll get more scenarios from you as well. Okay, please try to make some time on daily basis, and try to complete the activities, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe we can have
Yes.
a
See,
catch up
because
today.
it looks easy, like for creating superg the tasks and everything, but when we start creating and establishing the relationships between them, creating super subordinates, assigning hierarchies, so that is where we'll face little challenge. Fine. Saurabh, I can't hear if you're speaking. I don't know, like if there is an issue from your end. Are you able to create them in the system? Okay, fine. Right, it's okay. Right. So far we created supervisory organizations in the system, which describes or shows me the hierarchy, like org structure of my company, like who reports to whom or who supervises whom from top to bottom. We'll keep creating the supervisory organizations, and we will have our organization structure created. And again, in organizations, in supervisory organizations, we are creating the positions, right? So we have seen how to create a position, and before creating position, we have configured the create position business process definition. So how we did it? We have gone to the top level supervisory organization, and then business process create copy link, and I configured the business process definition for create position with one step. Similarly, we have configured higher business process definition on the top level supervisory organization. Right now, in today's session, we'll see again, we have created some one location as well. Let's try to create few more locations. Okay, let me create some locations in the system. How to create a location? Can someone help me with the task name, please? What is the
Create
task?
location.
Create location.
Yeah. So create location. Thank you. So when I select create location, so it will ask me to give the location name. Let me give example. I'm using AB as a prefix. Dallas I'll create. And what should be the location usage type here? Location usage.
Business site.
Business site. So we must select the location usage type when we are creating any location in Workday HCM. We must choose, it is a must and should case. So we have to give the location usage as a business site. Okay. So I'll click on OK, and it will take me to the location details page. So here I'm going to create a location, right? So here I'll give location type, like what type of location it is, like so here the drop down values varies from company to company. Like this is a tenant for the system is for a campus, college related. So that's where you see relevant options here. If it is for any service industry, you will see like in headquarters, operation center, service center kind of, you'll see the options. So you can choose whatever the location type. Again, who will be giving all these details? The requester who is asking us to create a location in the system, they'll be sharing all the details to us. I'm just going to fill in the details on all these fields. Okay. And then again, if you go to contact information, we have to specify the contact details of the location, like the phone number, email address, and address as well. Now I'll give this primary type, and then I'll go to add address as well here. So for every address, so for every location, we must specify the address as well, like where exactly the office is located. Okay. Feed one, I'm just filling in some random data here. Dallas comes under which state? Any idea? Let me check otherwise. Texas. Okay. And I will select the postal code. I'll give some random value here. 7.
Real quick question.
Yes,
Is
please.
this session being recorded? Okay.
Yes, I have started.
Mohan just asked.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I'm just filling in the details here, and then I'll select it as a primary location, primary address. And email, if you have, if your location have an email address shared, you will be filling in that detail as well. Again, don't prefer not to give any real-time values here in the phone number section or in the address section or in the email address. So for now, you can use some text, I mean, test or sample data. Please don't give real-time values. Again, now if I click on OK, so I have given the details of the location in the first page, and in the second page, I have given the contact details, and I try to save it, but it is throwing me an error. So what is this error? Let me click on this error. It will show the field time profile is required and must have a value. So what is time profile? So here we have selected the location usage as business site, right? So here we need to specify the time profile. That means if any worker is tagged to this location, how many number of hours he or she is going to work for. So I'm selecting standard as 40 here. So it will reflect 40 while I'm creating any location. Now I'll click on OK. My position is created. Sorry, my location is created now, right? Likewise, we can create multiple locations in the system, right? So now, once we create locations, right, we'll keep expanding our operations, right? Like, whenever we have an enterprise, we will start our operations with one country or in particular one location, and then we'll keep expanding the services to multiple other locations. Let's say, for example, I'm going to have my operations like my company is established in one of the locations from India, that is Delhi, say for example. So once I have created Delhi, then I'll start one more branch or one more office in some other location, let's say Chennai. So later after that, I have created one more location, Pune. So I'm keep expanding my services to multiple locations in a country. Similarly, I'll expand my services to some other country, like let's say Australia. So what I'll do is like let us assume there is a location created, Sydney. So now I'm going to create all these locations and I'll see. And we'll have one more operation center from Melbourne. And then let's have one more location, Perth, like this. And similarly, you will expand your services to other countries as well, right? So in this case, if you see, if you take some other country like China, so you will have Shanghai, and then other locations we have Wuhan, and you can take a few more locations. I'll add few more locations little later. So now if you see, so I'm creating locations separately from each country again, right? We'll be creating like, so for now, like again I have, let us say I have created one location called Dallas, and then I'm creating San Francisco as another location, say for example. So this comes under one country, this comes under one country, these three like these three values or locations comes under another country. So likewise, we have created multiple locations for my organization needs. Like wherever I'm going to have an office, right? Wherever my workers are going to work from. So I have to maintain that location created in the system. So how do we create locations? We have seen that example. Now when we create these many locations, right? Say for example, so when we are defining leave policies, like leaves or absences, like some public holidays, or some kind of benefits we are going to provide, and similarly for compensation related. So how do we give compensation to workers? Like based on some common criteria, right? Like a similarly leave calendar for that example. So if I have to define leaves, like all the workers from India are eligible for, let us say there is one leave type. Okay, there is one leave type called leave LT1. Now, who are all eligible for this particular leave type? All the workers from India. If this is the business requirement, so this leave should be applied or can be applied by the workers from India, right? Similarly, there is another leave type, say for example, LT2, leave type 2. This is only for the workers from Australia, say for example. So how do I identify whether a worker belongs to India, or how do I identify whether a worker belongs to Australia? So based on their location. So in these cases, we have to write the conditions, right? Like if workers location is in the list of these values. What are those values? Sydney, Melbourne, and Perth. If workers location is in these three locations, this is how we can define this rule eligibility for this particular plan. So this plan can be applied by the people who belongs to these three locations, and this rule I will tag it to this particular leave type. Similarly for leave type 1, so how do I write it? So I'll write workers location in the list of Delhi, Chennai, and Pune. So if this is the case, then LT1 can be reflecting for them. Like so, when workers from India, if they log into the system, they will see this leave type. If the workers from Australia, when they log in into the system, they will see leave type 2. If a worker from Australia, if a worker from Perth is logging into the system and he's trying to apply for it for this leave type LT1, he cannot see because the eligibility on this leave type is defined based on Delhi, Chennai, and Pune locations. So it is not available for other locations, people. Not only leave types, let us say some compensation plans or some allowance plans, right? So there is an allowance plan or there is some bonus plan I would like to give for the workers who are all from India or for the workers who are all from United States. So basis a country as a criteria, I'm going to give some additional allowances to my workers. So how do I create this, create the logic to define whether the workers are belonging to a specific country alone? In this case, I'm going to consider all the locations that are available that I have created in the system for me. Are we clear so far? Like how do we like so how we will define the eligibility rules? Like again, we will see them again little later. We'll create the condition rules and eligibility rules. See, I'm not writing any logic here. I'm just defining the basic logic to how to make sure a particular leave is eligible for a specific set of people, right? Now, so similarly like this, if I have around, now here I have taken two examples. Let's say I have 100 such leave types which are different for different countries. Now what will happen if I'm expanding my services? Okay, let similar to this, I'll take a compensation plan. Okay, so there is a compensation plan or a bonus plan or an allowance plan, whatever. This plan is eligible for all the workers from India again. So this plan is only for workers from India. And similarly, I have a compensation plan too. So this is for workers from Australia. Yes. Now again, how do we write? We will write it based on the workers location again. So if workers location is in the list of these values, this compensation plan will be tagged for the worker. Like the worker is eligible for this compensation plan, he will receive this component. If worker belongs to Delhi, Chennai, Pune, he will be receiving this compensation plan, one component in his paycheck. Now, if we have similar rules like this, right? If at one point of time, now in India, I have expanded my services to another location called Mumbai. Now, if I'm hiring someone in Mumbai location, will he or she gets LT1 and CP1 or not? Will he or she be eligible to apply for leave type 1? And will he or she be eligible for compensation plan 1? So these are the rules I have for India. Now, if I'm expanding my services, like I have created one more location called Mumbai, and I'm hiring some people in Mumbai. Now, the people who are getting hired into like or tagged to Mumbai location, will they get leave type 1 and will they get compensation plan 1 or not?
They will.
They will.
Okay,
They will.
okay, let's see. So now, if you see what is the condition I have written here, workers location. Let me expand this. Sorry, workers location is in the list of Delhi, Chennai, and Pune. Is Mumbai added to this condition or not?
No,
No.
No. Okay, so they won't.
it
Now,
won't. Yeah.
people from
So it's
Mumbai,
specific to each
yeah,
state,
City.
each area in
correct.
India, right?
So, yeah, so in this case, what I have to do after I create Mumbai location, I must maintain that value here as well as an additional activity. Correct? Only if I do, then only as per the criteria, right? All the workers from India are eligible for this. If we don't add Mumbai, the newly created location in this condition rule, no one from Mumbai will be eligible for applying this leave type. Similarly, for this compensation plan, will they be getting this compensation plan if my condition rule is like this?
Yeah. So you still have to add Mumbai to
Yeah,
that as
so
well.
I must come here and add Mumbai again here. So we don't know like how many such places the locations from India are used to select or to filter the workers from India, right? So we must perform an additional activity like doing impact analysis of creating Mumbai. If I don't do that impact analysis and if I don't add here and here, so the people won't, the users, the workers won't get the compensation plans, the workers may not get the leave types, etc. etc. So it can be, so here I have just
So
taken it in a smaller scale. Yeah, one second, please. In one leave type, one compensation plan I have taken. So there can be n number of such places where we might be referring to workers from India. Correct? Yes, please.
so what is the default setting there?
Yeah.
If, for example, let's say somebody got hired in Hyderabad and we didn't define that in the worker's location as them getting the LT1 or compensation one. So what would the default setting be for that?
Yeah, we'll discuss that. Sure. So for that only, like if we understand like why we have to do that, so I'm just trying to explain the pain point here so that we'll discuss the next solution for the same. Okay. So now we are clear, right? Like if I'm expanding my services to Mumbai, okay, now, so I have created Mumbai and I have added here. Let's say, for example, this is fine. Now it will work correctly. Now, later, again, I have expanded my services to some other location, Hyderabad. Again I must come here and again I have to add Hyderabad here, right? So this becomes an overhead activity every time. So when it comes to the maintenance part, whenever I'm expanding my services to any new location, right? Suppose in Australia I have expanded it to Adelaide. Again I have to maintain Adelaide here. If I don't do, again the workers may not be getting the right eligibility for them. So instead of this, let us say I'm going to create a hierarchy for them. So I'm just calling it as India. Now, India here is not a country. Again, I'll create a hierarchy Australia. Australia is not a country here, it's a hierarchy I'm going to create. That means I'm going to group all my locations into one entity and I'm calling it as a location hierarchy. Means I'm going to tag like similar to the way I'm grouping all the workers into one supervisory organization, right? Similar to that, I'm going to group all the locations into one hierarchy and I'm calling it as India. Again, I'm going to group all the locations from Australia into one hierarchy. I'm calling it as Australia. Now, I will change the way I'm writing the condition rules. For LT1, how I will write? If workers location hierarchy is in the list of India. Let me differentiate this with some different color. Yeah. So I'm going to write my condition rule like this instead of the previous one. So instead of writing it like this, I'm going to change the condition rule like I'm writing the rule based on the location hierarchy now, Australia. Now, now let's see. If I'm going to expand my locations, my operations to one more location called Bangalore, and I'm making sure the Bangalore is created and added to this hierarchy, one single step. I'll create location, first step, I'll add hierarchy to this location, which is India, two steps. In this case, do I need to change anything here in my condition rule? When I say India, it refers to all the locations, correct? Again, if I write similar condition here, if I don't have the concept of location hierarchies, I'm ending up adding all the locations in my condition rule or the eligibility rule. But with this approach, so here let us assume there are 10 leave types and 10 compensation plans. So I have to create my location Bangalore, and 10 leave types I have to add Bangalore. In 10 compensation places I have to add Bangalore. So it's like 20 times I have to do that activity. But with the introduction of location hierarchies, what I'll do, I'll create Bangalore and I will tag Bangalore to India as a location hierarchy. So wherever I have similar criteria, similar conditions, I'll be writing my condition like this. It's based on the location hierarchy, not based on the locations. And simply I'll tag my location, I'll create my location and I'll tag it to the right hierarchy. Again, the business, the requesters will tell you when they are asking you to create any location, they will tell you the location hierarchy to which hierarchy you would like to tag this location. They must tell us and we will tag it accordingly. Again, this hierarchy need not be the same way, right? Like, suppose here I have created like India and all the locations under India have been placed. You can split it like, East India on West India or South India or North India. You can group these locations, the locations from South India, you will have a hierarchy South India. The locations from North India, you will have a location hierarchy North India. Again, you can club North India and South India under one more hierarchy. It depends, but at the lower level we'll have workers based out of these locations in any one of these locations from our country. Similarly, for Australia, if I'm expanding my services to one more location, right? So in that case, again, I do not have to do any additional maintenance activity in my condition rules if I'm writing my condition rules based on the workers location hierarchy. Are you all with me so far? Why are we creating location hierarchies? How we will create location hierarchies, I'll explain. Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's see how to create a location hierarchy and bring these locations into this particular hierarchy. Okay. So far I have created one location, Dallas, right? So let me create location hierarchy. Again, the task to create location hierarchy is create location hierarchy. See, the task is very simple. Use the task name, create location hierarchy. Here again, it is asking for reorganization. Do we need to create a reorganization now again? As I said, reorganization creation is a one-time activity here. Okay, I'm going to do it one time and I'm reusing my reorganization that I have created in the past. AB services reorg, click on OK. Now, let me create a hierarchy for United States. Okay. And subtype can be geographical division, leave it as it is. Again, include code in the name very similar to the SUPOG, and you can specify the code or you can leave them blank. So visibility, you can give it to everyone and then click on OK. Now location hierarchy is created, right? Now, are there any locations in this location hierarchy? No. Now, how to bring the locations into this hierarchy? Go to location hierarchy, related actions, reorganization, assign locations. Go to go to location hierarchy, related actions, reorganization, assign locations. Again, I'm giving my reorganization here, AB services reorg. Here I'll be giving my location. So now, whenever I'm creating a new location, I'm going to add it under my hierarchy like this. So I'll click on OK. Let's create one more location in the system. Okay. Now see, in this location hierarchy AB services US, I have Dallas as one of the locations. Okay. Now let's create one more location. Again, to create a location, I'm going to use create location as a task. The task is very simple, right? Beauty of workday. So the task names are very simple. We don't have to remember them by any sort of commands. It's with simple English we can use the tasks. Location name AB. Let's say I'm creating San Francisco as a location, and location usage type must be business site. So location type I'm going to select. So while creating location also we can specify the superior location, right? If you know the location hierarchy, you can specify AB services. Yes, you can specify your location hierarchy at the time of giving it in the wrong place. No. Should come here. I'll explain. Let's come back to this later. So now I'll give contact information and I'll give all the information here. Phone number. They'll give it as a primary number and address I'll specify as per the requirement. So again, whatever the details I'm furnishing here, so they will be given to you by the requester. Please remember. And I'm just randomly selecting some state here. Postal code. So I guess 230. I'll give the email address as well. Now again, I'm clicking on OK. It is throwing an error. What is this error for? Time profile. I have to maintain the time profile, otherwise it will throw me an error. So I'll go to third tab, business site. So the reason why I'm clicking every time OK is to make sure when you're practicing, you will be giving this value. Okay, just to show it. That's it. That is the only reason, nothing else. Click on OK. So I think this is for postal code related. Yeah. So here, first thing I must select the address as a primary. So it is throwing two errors. So whatever I have forgot, I'm going to do it now. I'll select it as primary address. And again, the postal code will be, hmm, it starts with 200. And okay. This is the code for Washington, right? Let me give something else. Okay, good. So now I have my location created. And again, so from location also we can assign the location hierarchies. See, you can see if you go to location related actions, assign location hierarchies. So from here you can assign United States location hierarchy for your location. Otherwise, you can go to your location hierarchy, AB US, AB services US, reorganization, and assign locations. I'll select. And here I'll give ABSF as the location again. So already Dallas is there. I'm going to add one more location here. Like this. Now I'll have two locations. I'll create location, and second step I'll add it to the right hierarchy so that I do not have to be bothered about wherever my location hierarchy is referenced. So it will consider all the locations that are there under the hierarchy. So likewise, we will create location hierarchies and locations, and we will group locations under the location hierarchies. Now, similar to this, suppose if you have any requirement, like, I would like to give it on a uh, multiple countries level. Like suppose if I want to give some specific special bonus to all the workers from APAC countries. When I say APAC, Asia Pacific countries. Similarly, you have East EMEA countries or EME, right? Middle East African countries will give, right? And similarly for North America, Latin America, like you can segregate like basis your business requirement. Your locations are categorized into different zones, right? So basis that if you would like to give, right? In such cases, you can club these two hierarchies into another hierarchy and you can call it as APAC. So you will have China here. So now China, India, Australia can be clubbed into one hierarchy and I can call it as APAC. So this is also again another location hierarchy. So the number of hierarchies can be any in number, but in the lowest level, you will have the actual locations where the workers belong to. So the workers will be tagged to the locations automatically. When they've been tagged to a location, they will also be tagged to the location hierarchy indirectly. Like they belongs to, if a worker is hired in Bangalore, he belongs to India location hierarchy and he will also belongs to APAC location hierarchy. So likewise, you can create, like suppose if you want to group APAC, say for example, LATAM, and then EMEA countries or right? So on top of these three, you can have one more location hierarchy. You can call it as global. it depends, like how your organization would like to categorize or split the whole set of the geographical spaces into different categorizations. You can create those many number of location hierarchies. Okay, suppose now we have seen we created a location and we assigned a we have tagged the location to a location hierarchy. Now how can I create APAC as a location hierarchy and I'll make India is falling under APAC? Or similarly, how can I create an LATAM as a country, well, sorry, hierarchy, and how can I make sure my countries are falling under that hierarchy? So for those requirements, let us see. So again, you can create a location hierarchy. Let me add this US location hierarchy under global. Let us do that. Or let me create APAC and I'll create India and I'll create Australia and I'll add it to them. So create location hierarchy is the task. Now I'll create AV services act as a location hierarchy. I'm just suffixing it with LH to make sure this is a location hierarchy. And I'll make visibility as everyone. Click on OK. And you can create one more location hierarchy, which is India, say for example, and we will be bringing India under APAC location hierarchy later. So now I'll give location hierarchy, and for that I'm giving the reorganization here. India is a location hierarchy. I'll click on OK. Now I have India, I have APAC. So India should be placed under APAC location hierarchy. So now what should I do? Similar to the way I have created supervisory organization and assigned a superior, right? Now I'm going to assign a parent to India. Who is that parent? APAC here. So I'll go to India. I'll go to related actions, reorganization, and I'm going to assign a superior. So what will happen here? Now again, I'll give the date. Let's give yesterday's date. Click on OK. I'm going to bring India under APAC location hierarchy. So here I'll give APAC. That's it. So automatically India and its locations will fall under APAC location hierarchy now. Let me open the location hierarchy, APAC. If I open this, I'll see India under this as a subordinate, which is a location hierarchy. Again, under India, I don't have any locations added yet, but this location hierarchy is under this APAC. So you can do the other way also. From APAC, you can create another subordinate, which is Australia. So for now, what I have done, I have created India as a separate location hierarchy, APAC as a separate location hierarchy, and I have assigned APAC as a location hierarchy for India. Now I can create Australia as a location hierarchy and I can assign superior as APAC for it. Or the other way, I can go to APAC and I create subordinate as Australia. We can perform it either ways. Both the ways are right. So So now I'll go to related actions, reorganization, create subordinate. See, creation of locations is different and creation of location hierarchies is little different. I'm going to give maybe services. Australia as a location hierarchy now. They'll click on submit. So automatically Australia location hierarchy will be falling under the uh, APAC location hierarchy. Now, if you see APAC location hierarchy, let me click on submit. Here under APAC location hierarchy, now I'll see only Australia. Where is India? I have added it right some time back. Why is it not reflecting? Can someone guess it? Check the details on the screen and tell me. I'm viewing APAC hierarchy as of 1st June and I can see only Australia under it. But I have added India also some time back, right? Where is India now?
Effective date is 12th.
Yeah. When I have assigned India under APAC, I have given date as yesterday's date, which is 12th. Now, if I take a look at this location hierarchy as of a specific date, right, as of today, then I can see both the details. See, I have followed the same navigation, reorganization, and I have assigned superior for India, and I have assigned it with yesterday as an effective date. That's where I see the details as of 1st June, and I do not see India here for now. But if I open this location hierarchy again, let me see as of today's date, and I'll get the details correctly. See, now as of today, I have location hierarchy Australia, I have location hierarchy India under APAC location hierarchy. So like this, we'll create multiple locations and location hierarchies. And again, I will add locations under my location hierarchies. So please create some set of locations from UK, right? From Europe zone and from US zone and from APAC. So create multiple locations and create hierarchies for them by next session. So in tomorrow's session, we'll discuss about how to create cost centers and cost center hierarchies, company and company hierarchies, region and region hierarchies. Okay, yeah. In today's session, we discussed about creating locations in the system again. So create location we have already used. Now I'm going to give more options on it. So create location hierarchy. How to do? So you can use the same task name, right? And again, once location hierarchy is created, to assign location hierarchy to a location. How you can do it in two ways. Go to location hierarchy, related actions, reorganization, assign locations. You can use this navigation to assign the location or go to location, related actions, location under it, and you will see an option assign location hierarchies. You can use either of these options and you can add a location hierarchy to a location. Again, so create subordinate location hierarchy. Go to location hierarchy, related actions, reorganization, and create subordinate. Similarly, assign superior. So we have similar logic. I'll be similar navigation, but it's a little different. Assign superior. Like this. Create some locations, create some hierarchies, and group them into respective hierarchy. So first, in first place, create a chart or a hierarchy like this. So for your reference, like uh, India, Japan, China, Australia, you can take, and similarly for EME, you can take some countries, and for LATAM and US, you can take different countries and put them at one level, and the countries at one level, and global at another level. So, here, global is a location hierarchy for me. Again, these two APAC and India levels are higher location hierarchies, and these are locations for me in Workday. Okay. So please do create. If we have any doubts, we can discuss it in tomorrow's session, but please do practice. So the moment you start practicing, you will get more questions and doubts. So we'll discuss it in the next session. Any questions, please?
No questions for me.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm good on my end too.
Great. Thank you so much for joining. We'll connect tomorrow. Yeah, but please do practice. Okay, I'll share the recording right after the session. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Ashish. Take care.
Thank you.
All right, bro.